local time. Watch it at the following times on Nile TV International.
Welcome back, and for more on the French President's visit to Egypt, we're delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, the Professor of International Relations. Dr. Mohamed, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, too.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time. Now, of course, the French President Emmanuel Macron was recently in Egypt, a very successful and eventful visit, really. And, of course, the French President and Egyptian President also visited Alexandria on Saturday, touring the new campus of a university, Senghor, in Burj Al Arab, Alexandria. And, of course, discussions ensued and summit talks between the two leaders. How do you see the French President's visit as a whole, if you summarize it quickly?
Well, the relation between Egypt and France have witnessed remarkable development over the past decade.
Yes.
Evolving into a comprehensive strategic partnership that includes political coordination, economic cooperation, defensive collaboration, cultural exchange, and educational initiatives. Yesterday's visit by Emmanuel Macron to Egypt reflects a strengthening of these ties and highlights Egypt's growing regional and international importance in escalating geopolitical challenges in the Middle East and Africa. First, Egyptian-French relations date back centuries and have always carried strong cultural and intellectual dimensions.
Yes.
France played an important role in shaping Egypt's modern education, legal and cultural institutions. Cultural cooperation between the two countries remains one of the strongest pillars of bilateral relations. Transformation into a strategic partnership since 2014, relations have expanded significantly beyond the traditional diplomacy. Cooperation now includes defense and military partnerships, infrastructure and the transportation projects, renewable energy and economic investment, counter-terrorism coordination, Mediterranean and African security cooperation.
Indeed.
Also,
Yes, Doctor. Indeed, many areas of collaboration and joint cooperation between the two countries. And of course, the visit also saw very important discussions between the two leaders regarding regional issues, also the situation with the Gaza ceasefire, the developments in Lebanon, etc. How do you see the talks and the coordination between the two countries with regards to these regional developments?
Well, this visit comes in the major regional tensions, include the war in Gaza and instability in Libya, the conflict in Sudan and Lebanon, escalation in Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz. France increasingly views Egypt as an indispensable partner in managing these crises and maintaining regional balance, European strategic interests. The visit also reflects more than the European efforts to strengthen partnership with the reliable regional power, reduce instability, affect European security, enhance cooperation in migration and counter-terrorism. So, if we talk about the African dimension of the visit, especially which as Egypt, France considered Egypt as a gateway to Africa. France increasingly sees Egypt as a diplomatic gateway to Africa, a strategic hub connecting Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, a partner capable of supporting the stability and development across the continent. So the visit comes at the time when France is attempting to rebuild its influence in Africa strengthen cooperation with African partners, expand educational and cultural diplomacy,
Yes.
compete with growing international influence from China, Russia, and other global powers.
Yes. Absolutely. Dr. Mohamed, as you said, also ties have expanded between the two countries and have now reached various new domains, specifically focusing on the recent educational collaboration between the two countries. Of course, the President of France inaugurated the new campus of Senghor University in Burj Al Arab, Alexandria, in attendance of many African officials as well. How does this place Egypt as a regional and international hub for education to cater for the needs of other African countries as well?
Well, the inauguration of the new Senghor University campus in Burj Al Arab represents one of the most symbolic moments of the Macron's visit. The university operates under the umbrella of the International Organization of La Francophonie and focuses on sustainable development, public administration, healthcare management, governance and diplomacy, African capacity building. This opening of this university is very important for Egypt, which reflects Cairo's ambition to become a regional educational hub. Egypt growing soft power in Africa. Egypt's investment in education and human development. Its expanding role in Africa academic cooperation. And it is very important for France also, with the preservation of French cultural and linguistic influence in Africa, strengthening Francophone cooperation, long-term investment in Africa youth and leadership, a modern model of educational diplomacy, a bridge between Europe and Africa. So the university symbolizes cooperation between Europe and Africa in human development partnership, educational integration across the Mediterranean, shared Egyptian-French influence in Africa.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Mohamed, also, how do you see economic cooperation between the two countries be expanded following the talks and the meeting between the two presidents in light of the discussions that were held?
Well, the main discussions between the two leaders in this meeting both their tensions on border geopolitical implications, strengthen Mediterranean stability. So the visit demonstrates growing Egyptian-French coordination on Eastern Mediterranean security, maritime stability, energy cooperation, regional conflict management, Egypt's growing international position. Macron's visit highlights Egypt's increasing role as a regional power, a diplomatic mediator, a strategic security partner, a center of regional political dialogue.
Yes.
So President Macron's visit to Egypt represents far more than a routine diplomatic event. It reflects the emergence of the deeper Egyptian-French strategic partnership based on shared interest in regional security, economic cooperation, African engagement, and cultural diplomacy.
Absolutely right. Dr. Mohamed, let's move to another very important area of cooperation between Egypt and France, which is that of security and military cooperation. How do you see their cooperation specifically in this field?
Well, we know many fields of cooperation between Egypt and France, especially in the part of security.
Yes.
France supported Egypt that because they consider Egypt the only country who can face the illegal immigration. So they supported Egypt in the field of weapons. They many fields of cooperation, especially in manufacturing weapons in Egypt.
Yes.
We saw Mistral, we saw Raval, we saw many things that France supported Egypt by gave the permission to Egypt to buy these weapons. Especially, they improved our plan system in Egypt, army planes.
Yes.
So France and Egypt also cooperation in the field of railway development and metro development. Many infrastructure projects are shared between France and Egypt in the last years.
Absolutely. Right. Let's move to some of the discussions between the two leaders. Of course, the situation in the Middle East region, the developments in the Gaza Strip with regards to the ceasefire agreement, as well as the developments being witnessed in Lebanon, which France has also very loudly voiced concerns towards. How do you see the agreement between the two countries and the two leaders in these different topics?
Well, we know that the war between America and Iran affected all the world economy, and it raised the price of oil barrel from $65 to $115.
Yes.
Egypt is one of the main mediators between United States and Iran. Also, France tried to be the European mediator to prevent this war to begin again.
Yes.
So, His Excellency President Fattah al-Sisi and Emmanuel Macron shared their point of view about how to stop this war, how to stop the effect on the world, global world economy,
Yes.
and how to work on reducing the oil price, and how can they cooperate in the field of renewable energy and green energy instead of oil. So France, as a European mediator, who takes the place of Germany, and Egypt, as the biggest country in the area of Middle East and Africa, try to make many pressures on Donald Trump to stop this war and go to negotiations and finish this war by negotiations, not by a strike again.
Absolutely right. We'll have to leave it at that. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, our dear guest, the Professor of International Relations. Many thanks, sir, for your time and your insights, and for joining us this afternoon on Cairo Local Time. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to a short break and we'll be back for more. Do stay tuned.